Ta-na-na. And now a very special episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Yes, an episode that I requested. I will say right off the bat, for Star Trek fans, this is not a good episode.
This one's pretty forgettable.
Yeah, it's all right. It's not bad. It's just not. I wouldn't put it in the good category.
I would say I was still a young man when this was first run. Of course, I watched all of them live, unlike some people on YouTube who claim to like Star Trek. I watched them start to finish, first through 7 seasons, all live, first run. This episode gave me nightmares because of this episode is a nightmare, basically.
Yes.
The premise of this episode of just being kidnapped through a dimensional portal to be experimented on is just ridiculous. And it's like Lovecraftian almost. You expect Jeffrey Combs, who has numerous Star Trek appearances, except this episode, you would expect him to show up within this episode with his pineal gland out his forehead or something.
Well, the funny thing about this episode is for anyone out there who is a people call it fringe interest, I've heard, but for anyone out there who's like an aliens or cryptid or just weird stuff fan, that is me. That is my bread and butter. That is what I absolutely enjoy. So this episode, even from a young kid, when I was really getting into aliens and the potential of aliens, which it's weird to think about aliens, while watching Star Trek, but
well. Like you said, like for us, we don't know there's aliens, so an alien abduction thing for us is like super scary because we have no frame of reference for that. It's completely unknown.
Yeah.
These people live in the 24th century. They've met all kinds of aliens. So it's like, how do you do an alien abduction story by people who are surrounded by aliens? So, it's got to be interdimensional aliens.
Well, you go straight up Fortean with it.
What's that?
Oh, Fortean? Oh, yay. I said something Steven doesn't know.
You always, if it's a video game, that's pretty much guaranteed.
No, Fortean comes from, so the first real official, the first guy who was all about it 100% as far as paranormal and extra-dimensional research, his name was Charles Fort.
I get that kind of. Okay.
Yeah, and a bunch of people, most notably John Keel, who wrote Mothman Prophecies and The Eighth Tower. Mm-hmm. He was one of the biggest things. But this is actually one of the reasons... I'm talking over Data's poetry because I don't give a shit.
Good. It sucks. Everyone here hates Data's poetry. Even walk-on character Lieutenant J here.
But the reason I love this episode as a base is... that was the exact idea I loved, was when you're in space and you're dealing with aliens every day, like you said, how do you do alien abduction? Mm-hmm. Well... different dimension. Yeah. It's the only real next step. And not to keep talking about it, but the thing that I've been into a lot, and I explained my theory to you of the what we see as reality, but the idea of ultra terrestrials is the thing. So the things that exist outside of our dimension and just kind of fuck with it whenever they want to. That's why I like this episode.
Mm. Well, yeah, because it's like, okay, so we're set up here that Riker is very sleepy. He's a big sleepyhead all throughout his day on the ship. He's fallen asleep to Data's poetry here, right? And you're thinking, oh, what happened, Riker? Did you bang too many crewmen last night? Did you stay up too late with your female companions and playing on the holodeck? Or like, what's going on with Commander Riker? Because nobody's late for their shift in the 24th century. Nobody oversleeps in the 24th century. Nobody.
That was me in every history class.
Yay! General Sherman. Woo! General Sherman.
What? Oh, we were talking about Hitler? Shit. Yeah. Now people think I'm a Hitler fan.
Speaking of, this is me when anyone else was reading a book report in any class. But anyway. So yeah, because like the only thing, like it has to be something completely bizarre, because all these crew members, it's like everyone who's not experiencing this is like, everything's fine. The ship is running normally. Everything is just fine. And we just went right into the intro. Like, that's a great transition. Like, Data just keeps talking, and just the intro just goes right in. Like, they played him right off stage there, like the Oscars. Like, we're along for the ride here. Yeah. So like, it's got to be something so bizarre because everyone else on the ship is like, everything's fine. Why are you so sleepy?
Yeah. Well, and that kind of makes sense. I mean, even though this is a cheesy episode, it does kind of make sense why everyone's concerned, because like exactly like you said, this is the age of comfort and capability as far as people's lives go. And You shouldn't show up tired or late unless there's something physically wrong with you.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go to sick bay and complain that you can't sleep, and Crusher will give you warm milk.
Right. Or whatever,
happened.
hypo spray. But also, like, you go to, and Crusher discovers your arm has been surgically reattached, like disassembled and reattached. We don't know how this could have happened, like that leads them to something. Okay, we've got to start thinking outside the box here.
Yeah.
To use a bad cliche.
This episode has one of my favorite uses of the holodeck in it, though.
Yeah.
Which I think, as far if you look at these like crime shows that are super popular right now and all that, something like the holodeck would be insanely powerful because they recreate their nightmares together in the holodeck to get a better idea of like what's going on. And I actually, again, this episode is cheesy, it's kind of shitty, but it has a couple little points that I absolutely love.
Well, and that's the great thing about the holodeck is it can help you explore your fantasies or face your greatest fears.
Yeah. When
also can help Worf endure like the Klingon pain stick ritual.
Yeah.
Too.
It can also help when
Oh my god.
When Riker was on Risa and he heard of space fisting and wanted to learn what it was, he uses the holodeck so no one dies.
Try it in a non-confrontational, non-judgmental way.
Yeah, well, 30%
where you don't have to mop anything up afterwards; it just all disappears.
Yeah, and 30% of participants normally die.
Why do you think he's Quark knows him? Every time they go to Deep Space Nine, like Quark owes him money because he plays at the Dabo table so much and wins.
I like the empty data screen on the back. Like, there's no readouts. Just not using that one today.
Well, to me, that's like what you'd see in a 21st century doctor's office, like an X-ray machine, like a light box. If that existed, and that's what that would be if those existed in the 24th century.
Yeah. Gates McFadden, my favorite person. Still, I don't know. Still got a thing for Gates. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I still do.
Redheads.
I don't even think it's that. I don't know. I think it's her soft voice. Not super sure. Or maybe I have a weird thing that it's like she always looks like she's looking down on me, like I'm not smart. Oh, he's using his red data pad today. He's feeling fancy. Okay, there we go. Data kept the scene going. Okay. Woo, there we go.
There's only so long we can watch Geordi stare at the warp core.
Do you think when Geordi's alone in engineering, he talks to the warp core?
Probably.
Like a captain on like the bridge of his ship, just kind of talk to it. Oh, this is where Data explains all the different cultural practices with poetry, like the species who spends days silent in their poetry.
He's very self-conscious about people's reactions to his crappy poetry. And he's fishing for a compliment from his best buddy here.
Yeah, which he's going to have to put out some pretty big bait. I did double finger guns at Steven. I know no one could see that, but... God, I want that visor so bad. Still, I just want that visor so bad. It sucks, Data. It sucks real bad.
Data, don't ever stick to painting.
I'd rather listen to Vogon. Vogon poetry.
It's like Data's a good painter. He's a good actor. That's enough. You don't need to be in the poetry too, man.
Yeah.
Pick your art carefully. Like, I can't be a sculptor because I just can't bring anything into the third dimension. I'm a Photoshop guy.
That's actually this sculpting. I kind of learned there are some people who are naturally gifted with it. There's people who are naturally gifted at anything, but sculpting, especially when I was doing it through college, it really has to be practiced. Because it's not so much having the image in your head and being able to tell your hands to do it. Mm-hmm. It's the human brain and the human hands actually don't talk to each other very well at all. Wow. So you have to have them practice together. Although we did sculpting in college, because when you're 3D modeling things for video games, if you are practiced at sculpting, you have an idea of what things should look like when you're building them. Mm-hmm. So if you're kind of getting off the line on models and everything and things aren't looking right, you can actually probably correct yourself before you make too big of mistakes because you have a physical, like a tangible feeling of what that should end up as. Oh, field imbalance. Oh, they brought the glowy thing.
We brought security and doctors, so I don't know what's going on here.
They get to render medical aid to the boxes.
Are there people inside? Did we miss that?
It's the drug dealers from that other episode are in there just scratching themselves. Oh, we came back for more.
People, surprise! Like, hey, what's going on, guys?
Who the hell are you guys?
We're just moving cargo.
A USPS explosion? Like what happened to my camera when I ordered it? I also love frazzled Riker. They're like, how do we make Riker look frazzled? Just rough up his hair.
Doesn't comb his hair.
God, and Riker pushing people to the wall. Still,
he's just walking through.
He's like, I am tall and I am wide. Everyone out of my way.
Also very tired and sleepy.
Beautiful beard, though.
No, you're not my responsibility, sir. That's the worst thing a boss can do is make an employee like give a wake up call.
There's the warm milk I talked about.
Computer, 500 milligrams benzedrine.
Yeah. Computer, Klingon Coke.
No, that's the opposite. Let's go to sleep.
Well, he's got to make it through his shift. I mean,
later.
I also love his fake plants right above his head.
And see, Riker insists on a real pillow.
Yeah.
Not one of those crazy 24th century pillows.
Well, that pillow has special significance. That is also a Risa pillow.
It smells like the last girlfriend he had on Risa.
Who's one of those crazy plant people, so she has like her spores are all over it.
Ew.
Do you imagine the things that Riker's potted plants have seen?
No. So this is a pivotal scene where Riker is feeling like he just went to bed, but it's already 0700.
Yes, and
so something more is wrong here.
Yeah, and that's something that's actually so whoever helped write this episode must have really put in the research on alien abduction scenarios, because that's lost time is something that is super common, especially in the case of probably the most famous abductees, Betty and Barney Hill. No, like truly, they lost hours and really weird shit happened to them, and they had kind of the same thing. They had these memories slowly coming out that they were having these horrific scenarios, and finally they did regression hypnosis on them, and things just went ape shit.
Huh?
Things just went ape shit.
Oh, things went ape shit.
Yeah. It was. Yeah, I mean, that was it. Yeah. I know you like the barber guy.
Mr. Mott is back. We picked both episodes with Mr. Mott. I think this is his second appearance of 2.
Yeah.
He might be a background guy just for continuity's sake in other episodes. I don't know.
What if?
But you're right about like alien abduction, like the whole time shift thing, and it's because you're whatever way they'd use to subdue you or subconscious you or whatever. It's not letting you achieve REM sleep, so you're not getting fully subconscious, right?
Well, so in most abduction scenarios, here's the scissors.
Worf does not like sharp objects all of a sudden.
But in most...
It's like, I knew this day would happen. Worf is going to go crazy and kill me.
That cannot cut my hair. My hair is too thick.
This is for human hair. I require Klingon shears.
Use a batleth and fire. But no, in a lot of alien abduction scenarios, or almost all of them, people are awake the entire time they're being abducted. What happens, as far as they think, which this
I don't know, I've never been abducted.
Neither have I, but I've been listening to and reading a lot about it. The thing that they're thinking happens is once the process that whatever these entities are doing to people is done with, they wipe your memory.
Okay.
But they don't really like wipe it. They just kind of
But they don't sedate you or anyway, so you really have been awake the whole time.
Yes, and there's some people who have scenarios where they say they felt everything, and then other people where they said they were starting to scream because they felt it, and the aliens like told them they didn't feel any pain, and they stopped feeling the pain. So, I know I'm a weirdo. I also have never had an abduction scenario either. I have seen one weird thing though. Heather and I, when we were first dating, we saw this blue light come down over my apartment complex. Well, about like a mile from it, and it came down. We're like, "Oh, cool! Look at the falling star!" And it stopped and shot to the right.
Oh,
But that can happen with falling stars. They ricochet off the atmosphere.
Could be. So once again, Geordi's got a feeling here because of his visor. Isn't it lucky they had Geordi on hand?
Would you say his visor is his main advisor? Shitty joke. Goes with this episode.
Because I think his visor malfunctioning is also how they discover the time loop in Cause and Effect, where the ship keeps blowing up over and over, and they meet Kelsey Grammer at the end. Spoiler.
With my top.
I'm just going to put my other hand right here on your throat.
Okay, so I saw that, so I was thinking Space Dreidel, right? And Space Dreidel made me think of History of the World Part 2. Jews in space!
I'm sorry we never got to see that. I really wish Mel Brooks had followed through on that sequel.
No, because that's the joke, is there is no second one. That's the you have to. Mel Brooks is too good to finish his own joke. That's what makes it funny. Because this could kill you. Is this like Rick's suicide helmet thing that he made? Did he shake it?
Oh, even Data's messed up. Whoa.
Which is late.
Data, oh my goodness. Nothing?
Definitely nothing. Nothing. Yar's not here. Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing. Oh, bad ADR there for a second.
Something is wrong with this room on the ship.
Is Cargo Bay 4 the one on... we'll find it.
Isn't that the one that's haunted?
We don't go to the haunted bay. That's why there's so many problems there.
A what?
It's a cereal. New globulous clusters.
Isn't that in Spinal Tap? Like, that was left of our drummer was a little green globule. Hey, look, you can see the screws. That's HD right there for you. You can see the screws that hold the faceplate to the console. They didn't think they needed to paint those because standard def.
You couldn't see them. And someone get me another warm milk.
Nobody saw that, right? Everyone, we're cool. I'm still the best pilot on the ship, right? Right?
Everyone on the ship is like, yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. Of course we do, sir.
He gets on the intercom to the whole ship. Record Enterprise. I'm still the best pilot on this ship.
Everyone agrees. All these nameless ensigns agree.
One guy who works in the Jeffries tubes all day is like, who the fuck is Riker?
Yeah.
I love all the water storage bins.
Well, those are the most reused props on the show, or anything in a cargo bay. I think those yellow things are the ones that Crusher and LaForge had to eject off the ship before they blew up.
Yes, they are.
Disaster when they're stuck in the cargo bay.
No one saw that? It was glowing the whole time.
Yeah, Geordi should have picked that up, right?
Yeah, with his spectral analyzer. Speaking of the yellow barrels, so working in the medical environment, some fun stuff. The blue barrels, those are commonly used for the removal of waste materials from like hospitals and things like that.
Biohazards.
Yes, because you can burn the whole barrel. And then the yellow ones a lot of times are used for non-hazardous things like just like cleaning supply stuff, non-blood pathogen crap. Yeah, so there's some hospital trivia for you guys right there. And then the other things, those are just standard chemical waste disposal buckets or water containers. You get them at Harbor Freight, Home Depot, and shit.
The yellow ones look like the kind of containers that Walter White would dissolve a body in.
Well, that's what's in 3 of these. They found them on a satellite. Don't know how they got there, but they're keeping them.
That was Captain Picard's first scene in this episode, by the way. I think that's probably the latest he's ever walked on to an episode. I'm pretty sure that I don't remember seeing him until now.
You can tell Riker's off because he's not in her right now.
And she's like, I'm really tired of being the ship's counselor. Everyone's coming to me with their problems today.
I want to be the ship's painter.
I think it was recently said on the internet by people we respect that Guinan was a much better counselor for the ship than Troy was. I agree.
I agree also, but as the characters developed, and I'm saying pre-generations retcon, I don't count that in lore. It's a little unfair, in my opinion, to compare Guinan to Troy because Guinan is an immortal entity.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, she's been around. And, Counselor Troy, she's an empath. She can get emotions. She can counsel because she knows how you're feeling. But Guinan knows shit.
And she's also a trained psychologist, whatever. She's the academic counselor.
Yeah.
But I always thought, like, instead of setting up like every ship has a counselor now, it should have just been... First of all, Troy's character should have been an added bonus. Like, oh, I've got this Betazoid who's also a doctor. I'm going to use her as ship's counselor and also my ringer when I'm interviewing villains on the view screen. But also, like, the character of Guinan should have been like an added bonus of serving on the Enterprise is if you have a problem, you go to the bar and you talk to the bartender.
Yeah.
Who's an immortal being. Maybe friend of the captain.
Maybe that was her interview. She applied for being on the Enterprise and they're like, what are your qualifications? It's like, well, I have served drinks in a bunch of different places over the 1,000 years I've been alive. And they're like, what? Okay, that's enough experience. Sure.
It's like bar rescue where like, okay, make me a kamikaze. Go.
So she straps a bomb to him and pushes him out of the Enterprise. Oh, I know. That's a dark joke. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I've been stressed, people. I go dark when I'm stressed.
Here's the focus group or the support group of all the people experiencing weird things.
Yep. My scene.
And your
Here
favorite
it is.
scene.
I also love the holodeck when it's off. I actually really, really like the yellow grid. I think it's... I really think for a technology like this is probably what it would look like. It'd be super bland. That's something that I've been really annoyed by in sci-fi movies and TV shows as of the last 5 years or so, is if you notice when they have a hologram room or a projection or something, it's so complex looking or shiny or blah, blah, blah. But
there doesn't need to be anything in this room. It's a holodeck. The whole room is supposed to be filled with artificial focused light or whatever.
Yes. Photons. Agitated photons. Yeah. Bench.
Wooden table number 2.
Also, I like how they asked what it was like, and she said it was long, very long, and it cut to Riker, and he's like, just kind of nodding.
Oh, the table, yeah.
Yeah,
the table was also
table, yeah.
So now why is Geordi in this group? Because he seemed to be one of the normal ones.
No, he had an infection in his cortical implant that didn't make any sense. And he also said that he had weird dreams recently.
Okay. But he wasn't not sleeping because he got to Riker's quarters on time.
Correct.
So it's confusing.
Yeah. They abduct everyone else. They keep Riker up. Why does she keep shrugging?
And
Marina, what's wrong?
Random civilian. They couldn't afford too many extras for this episode. Oh, here we go.
Ah, that's it.
Yeah. No, this looks like I'm having my wisdom teeth out.
Actually, it looks
not sinister enough.
I think they're going to recharge RoboCop. Do you think? He's dreaming. Bullshit. He can't dream. Sorry, we won't go into RoboCop.
He is one bad motherfucker. Much love to the late Miguel Ferrer for his role of Mr. Bob Morton in that episode.
Wait, he's gone?
He passed away a couple years ago.
Oh no, yeah. I didn't know. Well,
sorry you had to find out this way, William.
Well, Peter Weller's still alive, so I'm happy.
Actually, no, just kidding.
To bring a full...
I was going to say, thank God he said Peter Weller and not someone else who had passed away.
And to bring it full circle...
Thank God Wilford Brimley's still like, oh, damn it.
Peter Weller played in the second new Star Trek movie. Peter Weller was the evil captain.
He's Admiral Marcus.
Yep.
One of the worst villains ever because he's just bad for no reason. He's just, I'm afraid of Klingons and I want a battle fleet.
Yes, the character is dry and stupid, but you have to admit, Peter Weller in that role, he fucking nails it.
He nailed the sinister aspect of it for sure.
Well, because Peter Weller's good at that. He can be evil as shit, or he can be Buckaroo Banzai. which I'm still super happy about. Oh, getting kinky. Oh, yeah, the hologram. Yeah, okay.
Peter Weller's other Star Trek appearance was in the 2-part Enterprise episode where he's the leader of the Earth First terrorists.
Really?
Who they want to kick all aliens off of Earth.
That makes me sad.
Yeah, he is okay in that. That episode was actually... That was in the 4th season when they're like, hey, here's some episodes of content you'll like. Is it too late to connect it to... Okay, it's too late. Sorry. So we're still building this table, but
I like how
it's like their guided meditation through repressed memories, where they're just kind of rediscovering things together.
So again, going back into the lore of alien abduction and things like that, that's actually a lot of how regression therapy works. Is they don't lead you, and there's a lot of debate saying a lot of these psychologists and other people who are hypnotizing these people and regressing them are telling them what they're seeing, but they really, I mean, I've listened to videotapes. There was that movie that came out called The Third Kind that has some real audio in it, but no, alien abduction, a lot of time, they just ask, they just say, what are you seeing? And they say, well, I'm seeing a ship. They go, they say, okay, you're in a ship. Tell me what the ship looks like. And it's a lot like this. Again, respect for this episode, because I think someone on the writing staff got fucking abducted.
I think they recreated the torture table from Space Mutiny here. And of course, there's Worf's scissors.
And now make it vibrate. Yes, harder. All right, holodeck. Now play ice cream truck music.
This is fine, but it's taking all. We've got to take up 10, 15 minutes of screen time with this. This is going on way too long. Pacing is not very great.
I also like, so this whole sequence of him explaining the sound. I think Worf should have had that and not Riker, just because I like Frakes, I really do, but there are some lines that he does not read well, and I don't think he should have had, because when Troy was asking what else there was, and he's like, no, there was a sound.
Oh, she's gonna freak out.
Like, I don't know. All right, so this sound. If anyone enjoys that sound you just heard, look up a movie called Claws or Island Claws.
If anyone enjoys the sound that just made these characters flip out.
Well, here, join me in clicking and we can keep it going.
I'm sure there's probably some ASMR channel out there that's got 2 hours of clicking so you can fall asleep to.
Please don't leave our channel to look up 2 hours of clicking. Stay here. Yeah. Stay here until after this episode, and then you can look up 2 hours of clicking.
Then watch the haircuts and eye exam videos.
I've never gotten into the ASMR thing. I understand it. Just me, like, I don't know. I listen to the stuff that's supposed to be like the most popular ASMRs, and it's just like girls drinking soda and shit like that. And I don't get it. Yeah.
There's two kinds. There's the stuff on purpose, and there's the unintentional stuff. And I always go for the unintentional.
You've told me about it. Like you said, like the haircut. You said someone getting like a
shaves,
someone getting
massages, eye exams. Yeah.
You said it was like a some sort of like head exam or something, or like
a cranial exam, the nerve exam. Yeah, those are fun.
I could imagine
I have no life. I watch Star Trek and ASMR. Everyone, I have no life.
I don't know why, but one of my favorite.
Oh, here's where they're just finding out that two people are missing and they had no idea.
Also, for the owner of a red Hyundai, your lights are on. I like how he waited for a second. He's a Picard bridge, and he's like, "Yeah, yes, Captain."
What does he want,
Captain? Captain, and he just starts talking.
Yeah.
Why did the captain have to put that together? Wouldn't that have been something that Data put together? No, seriously.
Yeah.
Isn't that something Data's like, we can trace Tetrion signals? Someone took your arm off.
She had to say that because the extra playing the medical tech doesn't have any, he's not SAG. Can't say any lines.
Cool. Oh, so bland.
Yeah.
Lieutenant Cargo Guy 7.
Mm-hmm.
Just
What are we looking at? Can we look at it? There we go. Oh, that's just been there, and we didn't even cut to that immediately.
We should do a recut where the guy's like, take a look for yourself, and they look over there, and it's just like the stretch out face from Liquid Sky just coming out. Well, yeah, in the glowing thing in the middle of the fucking room, Geordi, come on. Touch it. See, this is why people like me could never be in space, because there'd be like 4 dudes like me all looking at this thing, and one of them would be like, $5, put your arm in it. I love you, Data.
Oh, so we're blaming Geordi for this.
Well, of course it's Geordi's fault.
Geordi made some modifications.
He went straight up Lovecraftian with it. He delved too deeply.
That's right. You're absolutely right.
See, that's where Cthulhu will really come from. He's going to come from subspace, not from the ocean. You know. Lieutenant Heckler? Don't let that guy back on the ship.
Let's go wake him up.
Do you think there's ever water balloon fights on the Enterprise? Just people run down the hallways, chucking water balloons at each other. Actually, how cool would that be? A water balloon fight in the holodeck? Because then when you're done, you're just not wet. Like, that'd be so awesome.
Oh, he's not well.
Well, yeah, look at that haircut.
He looks like Ed Begley.
Actually, he looks like all the students in Invader Zim. The episode where Zim is stealing people's organs. He looks like that. Ew.
Oh.
Can you just transfusion that shit? And filler done. The rupture. How many times can I make Riker on Risa jokes before it's inappropriate or boring?
Say as many times as you want.
Sweet. Okay. Oh no, I'm remembering something incorrectly. I sort of remembered something where they actually like ejected the cargo bay into space, but I think they just opened up the doors and let stuff get sucked out.
I think that's the episode Disaster where LaForge and Crusher are trapped in that cargo bay where the fire is going to explode some jet fuel or some, I guess, jet fuel, but some, I think he says it's used in like jet packs or whatever, like spacesuit packs.
Oh, yeah.
So they have to, that's a ridiculous setup where the button to open and close the door to the space is on one panel, but the button to repressurize the cargo bay is all the way across the room. Like, come on, guys.
That's like the opposite of that joke is in the movie Monsters vs. Aliens. There's a funny thing where the president goes to hit like this button and everyone's like, "No, sir." And they're like, "That's the nuke button." And he's like, "Oh, isn't this the coffee button?" And they look and there's 2 red buttons that look exactly the same. One of them says coffee, the other one says nukes. If Riker had a homing device, we'd all know what he's been up to.
So basically, they're going to use Riker as bait if they come back.
Well, he is good at master bait.
This is your payback for all those rice and sex dungeons you've been to, right?
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of like the scene in Godfather Part 2 where they're in Cuba and they're watching the smut show or the snuff show live with the senators and the big wigs. And like, yeah, Riker probably had a few of those in Risa and other planets.
Yeah.
No questions asked shows.
I don't think Riker ever went to them intentionally, but I can guarantee that Riker ended up at a few places where he didn't realize what he was at until it was too awkward to leave.
Yeah. I mean, we summed up this conversation minutes ago. Riker's going to use himself as bait and then try to find out who these aliens are. This conversation has taken so long, though. Because we got to, again, this is episodic TV. We got to put 26 episodes, 26 hours of TV on every year.
Yep.
10 of those are not going to be great. And this is one of those 10 where it's like, yeah, there's some memorable things. Like I said, the image, what Riker's about to experience, the imagery kind of sticks with you. It's a little nightmarish.
Yeah.
But otherwise, there's no scientific groundbreaking thing in this episode. There's no moral dilemma. It's something is happening to the crew and they've got to solve the problem. Ooh, look at that cool prop.
It's a Pip-Boy.
It's the answer box from Abraxas. I wonder if it has VD. We know Riker does.
I was going to say, them together. They are Abraxas.
Okay, here I am. I'm ready. Here I go. All right, come get me. All right. Here I am.
Do it.
What was that? Was that you? Was that the guys? Are you here? I'm ready. Here I am. Come on. Ah.
Do it. Abduct me. I'm here. Just do it.
Okay. I'll have to close my. What if I close my eyes?
Womp. And he's just gone.
Yeah. Oh, hey, what? He just slides out of bed.
Although, again, I hate to keep bringing it up, but that exact scenario there is in a lot of abduction scenarios.
Yeah.
People say that their walls dissolve and disappear, or the window disappears, and they literally just slide off their bed and float out. There's a really weird one where people actually witnessed third party, the person being abducted. They were on the ground and they actually saw a woman being pulled in the air by some sort of craft and then flying away.
So here's that unfortunate ensign.
Is she also turning into a polymer? Dink, dink. Dink, 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 dink. I wonder if these guys just all work for the Body World exhibit. And they're just like, oh, he's a nice specimen.
I think these guys all work for David Cronenberg, their body horror nonsense going on here.
Good. The claws are a little floppy, but I like the costume design. I really do. There's really nice hands.
It's like they got every budget. It's like, okay, we're going to spend this much on the table. So how much left over do we have for alien costumes? You know, it's like decisions were made.
I love Riker got off the table and he says, I came here to kick ass and chew bubblegum. And I'm all out of bubblegum. I realize I said that wrong, but it's okay. It's okay. We're
got the reference.
Star Trek fans right now, not They Live fans, right? It's a separate group?
Same people.
Oh, damn it. Damn it. Damn it.
Well, I would say it's Star Trek and John Carpenter fans. But it's like Riker goes with a phaser. He's armed with a phaser, and he just sits there and lets them take it.
You know, I think it'd be really funny is if you're pretty sure that portal is going into where these things are, just huck like a ton of those rotten egg fart bombs through it. Just keep hucking them until the aliens are like, fine, we're leaving. It's the way I call my cat. Click at it like that. It's just cutting his head off. Just
Yeah, it's like Riker's in a weird spot. Like, what is he like? When does he reveal himself to be conscious?
Yes.
You know, like what is he gonna let them do to him before he can't take it? You know.
Well, and that's the crazy thing too. Is they said that his arm was severed and then reattached, right?
Yeah.
He's awake. He's not anesthetized.
Can't remember it. Yeah.
Yeah. He's not anesthetized. So if they start cutting a leg off, he's gonna feel that, and they're gonna know he's awake. Oh, you got time. And from this day forward, Riker was never able to get dental work. Do it. Do it. Aliens are like, oh, that smells like gravitons.
Yeah.
We better get out of here. It's always tetrions and tachyons and gravitons and neutrons and croutons. Why would you not expect that?
It's another page. It's just another couple pages of screen time. You know.
Yeah.
Really, these same characters from any other episode would have solved this shit in 10 minutes.
Oh, they would have been done.
And also, Riker wouldn't have put up with this for this long. He would have grabbed Ensign whatever and gotten out of there.
We better figure out a way to turn those tetrions tetri off. Yeah, it's a little hard to do funny commentary over this section because this is so dry.
It's just talking about what they're doing and also shit they should have figured out. Like I said, keep saying they would have had this done like you know hours ago.
Yeah,
in the time of the episode or time of the story, I suppose.
When Riker takes her, does he have to like take that unit also? That's
I don't remember. Now's your chance, buddy. They're all distracted.
This is a cool set, though. I'm not gonna lie. This is a really, really cool set. I mean, I think they could use this even for something today.
Huh.
I don't know why that made me laugh. I just hearing Data say that made me giggle.
He just takes her. He takes her and he jumps through the sliders portal. You expect Quinn Mallory to follow.
What a great show, Sliders. They should bring Sliders back.
It goes. It's like the.
Hey, listen.
Bye. Isn't that the thing that got knocked up Troy in the second season though?
The space ferry.
Yeah.
Maybe it was.
It's like all of a sudden this portal to hell turns into Tinkerbell and just goes off the ship.
Yeah. Also, if you want anything fun, just go on to Google and type in "knocked up Troy." I mean,
wow. The what?
It's a salad you can get at Italian restaurants. You get a saladagen with some capicola over the top. It's really good. There's a Doctor Who episode like that where they get taken to an all antimatter place, but his flute is made of matter. So to blow it up, they wait until the bad guy isn't paying attention and they drop the flute basically onto the ground and it blows everything up because matter can't touch antimatter. Wesley knows this.
Well, we're still talking about this. This is like the longest denouement.
Yeah, I apologize, everyone, for subjecting all two of our fans to this episode. I mean, I wanted it for the subject matter contained within, but not for the burnt toast dryness. Oh, slow zoom.
Oh, Hagler's dead?
Apparently Hagler just freaking died.
And I'll go comb your hair.
Get out of my ready room until you clean yourself up.
Yes. No messy haircuts allowed on the bridge. So yeah, that was Schisms. That was, we got to fill time in the 6th season until we get Tapestry.
Yeah. So if you'd like to hear me rant more about alien encrypted crap, or you want to ask Steven more about the in-depth of barrels, hit us up on Facebook at Ship on Fire Entertainment and YouTube at Ship on Fire Entertainment, and enjoy all of our other content as well as commentary tracks, as well as hit up our podcast. Nobody asked for this, just another podcast about movies on Anchor, iTunes, Google, and Spotify.